My niece was taking drum lessons at one point, and the first instructor with whom she worked, she had a good experience, and then after a couple of months he moved on, or there was a change in personnel. So the second drum instructor was older, had a lot of experience, and was performing. Oftentimes in the lesson he would say, oh yeah, I've played on this stage, and I've played on that stage, and I've played in this hall, and blah blah blah. I don't know. And he would literally spend the lesson 30 minutes just like sitting in front of the drum kit and doing all this stuff. And she hardly even touched the wood, you know, the sticks. And then she would go home and be like lost, like she had no idea, you know. So to me, that's a performer who is trying to teach, as opposed to a teacher who is teaching. A student will play, and then I ask them, how'd you do? I don't tell them how they did. Good. How did you do? If I tell them how they did, then they don't have to turn their brain on and think about how they did. All they have to do is just hit the keys, stop, and then get fed whatever instruction I impart, which may or may not be what they really need. So instead, what I will do is I will ask them what they were present to. How did they do? Because what that does is it begins to get them thinking critically about their performance. In addition to that, it gets them listening to how they're playing, which is vital. Any person, even at the earliest stages, they should be listening to everything that they play. Because at the end of the day, a musician our language is sound. And so we constantly want to be asking ourselves, how did we sound? How did we sound? Did we sound good? How can we improve? How can we improve our sound? And so by asking a student, how did you do? How did you play? They have to start critically thinking about what they did and how they sounded. And I do that from the earliest stages.